The Evergreen State College, following the hostile student takeover earlier this year, is facing a $2.1 million shortfall. This is due to a massive drop in enrollment following the various viral videos that sprouted up following the controversy, as well as a statewide mandatory cost of living raise for staff. Registration was down an overall 5%. However, the majority of the students that left were non-residents who pay more for tuition. This means that the 5% of people who left were giving a large chunk of the money that the school was receiving. Following the knowledge of this massive loss of revenue, 17 staff members were handed temporary layoff notices, much like with the University of Mizzou, which saw a similar series of occurrences that turned the public away from the school. We are witnessing the consequences of the actions of radical crybabies that view themselves as civil rights revolutionaries. In a desire to be valued, these students roleplay being virtuous moral arbiters and discover social injustices where they do not exist. It is now obvious to the masses how popular these people really are and how much of the public really identifies with their ideas. It turns out that many people saw the videos of childlike adults screaming into faculty's faces, calling them racist, only to chant Black Power just a few minutes later. The amusing part is that they themselves recorded this video and uploaded it to YouTube, thinking themselves to be the heroes in the scenario. The students also went to YouTube specifically, demanding that the video be taken down because it had been co-opted by alt-right trolls. The irony. We are seeing the market react to social justice, which, as it turns out, does not seem to work well with capitalism. If you've seen the movies and other pop culture that have been created with identity politics, I think you can agree that these Marxist propagandists aren't even entertaining, even to the average person. Racial preachiness is not profitable because it is not something that people want. If people did want it, there would be more enrollment following the student takeover. Instead, the average person watched what was happening there and said, "No thanks." Some of the people going to school there even said, "No thanks," and then transferred elsewhere. The most entertaining part about this article, however, is the final paragraph of the article. We'll go ahead and read it real quick. I'll quote, "We must continue our efforts to make Evergreen a student-ready college. Our work for equity and inclusion is an important step in the process." It's as if they have no idea what it is that people dislike about the school, which is the admiration of what someone is rather than who they are. Americans generally value individualism, and the hostile groupthink from places like Evergreen only pushes more reasonable people from indifference to action.